What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tuck from BOREDinDE, and we got a new episode of the podcast here. Here I got my good friend, my creative partner, and sometimes sister pain in the ass, Miss Shy Stiletto.
Hello, everyone.
What's going on, Shy? How you been?
I'm good. I can't complain.
You looking very beautiful and very colorful, like them necklace.
Thank you.
And like those earrings, those tassels.
Yes.
Okay, you know how to do it. You know how to do it. Now, for the people that might not be familiar with you, I need you to let them know who you are and what you're doing, because I know you from doing hair, from doing poetry, from being a painter, from just doing a whole bunch of creative shit. So right now, what is it what's on your table right now?
Everything is still on the table. I still do everything. Basically, I still do the makeup. I still do the hair. I still do the abstract art. I am a poet that writes, but I'm not a spoken word poet. There's a difference. But right now, my baby is consulting.
Okay.
Basically, at this point, I'm assisting, a couple different companies with their social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I'm working on my new venture, which is the What's in Your Closet. So basically, that's where I come out and to the, regular everyday working girl. We go through your closet, like a stylist. So I'll go through your closet to see what you have. We can put your outfits together, or we can go shopping together if we need to add odds and ends. But it's for the everyday working girl, not a celebrity or anything like that, because most of us, 9 to 5 ladies, we are like the greatest population in the world.
Right.
But I can teach them how to be fly on a dime. You can go to Ghetto Macy's, Rainbow. We can go to Burlington, Boscos. They all got layaway, by the way. But so it's like a way to stretch your bucks.
Wow, the Ghetto Macy's, you had me there. The Ghetto Macy's and everything. But that's a really decent niche. I mean, you figure a lot of people are so concerned with what the celebs are wearing, but a lot of us don't have celebrity budgets.
Right.
So if you could bring a look to the people without having to have that celebrity budget, that's incredible by itself.
Right, because also too, like, we get caught up sometimes on label and celebrities and fame. Half of the stuff that they have is being lended. They're not buying that stuff.
So they don't own that stuff.
And, I mean, they may probably own a couple of pieces, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the stuff is people basically, letting them wear it. So, like, for example, like with my lip gloss line, if I knew a celebrity say, hey, I'm going to send you every color I have, can you wear it on your show? That's going to make people want to buy my lip gloss, because whoever it is wearing it and they like her, and they're like, oh, okay, if she wears it, then I'm going to wear it too. So it's like one of those type of things.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
like it's like endorsements pretty much, without them getting paid, but they're getting articles, like of clothing and different things of that sort to wear it.
Okay. Now, outside going to people's like going to your Ghetto Macy's and everything like that, do you actually come to them or have them take pictures or video of what they have in their closet, so you can kind of put something together? Because a lot of people, myself included, usually have a lot of clothes that I matched it with one outfit, but I no longer wear that anymore, so it sits in the back of the closet. It's still a good shirt, slack, or whatever.
Right.
It's just, I just don't know what else to pair it with. That's where you come in.
Right, that's where I come in. So basically, I come to you. And you can give me your top 5, 10 outfits, and you show me how you wear them, and I might show you a spin on them, or I'll show you how to stretch it. Like me, I'm a person that buy coordinates. Coordinates are things that you can wear with anything. I never buy an outfit just to wear just like that. I buy stuff where I can interchange it with other things. So, and someone else did tell me, maybe you can do like a video type of thing. Shout out to Jarrell, because I didn't think of that. But it's one of those things where, I will come to you, you show me what you have, and we can put outfits together. Or if you want to take pictures of what you have, I can tell you what you're going to wear, like how to wear it. Or if you're going out that night, okay, this is what I want to wear. How should I wear it? I can do that also. But, I think it's sometimes like the first meeting should be, me coming out to you. I only have one client right now. Not to say that I'm a bad stylist, because I am a great stylist, but it's just something that's starting, because people are scared of what's new. They don't understand it. They think it's a lie, and it's not a lie. Until
somebody else say, I use this, and this, and this is I had a great experience, and then that's when they'll start beating down your door.
Right. So that's the thing, But they can inbox me on Instagram. Shy's Eye on Fashion on Instagram, and that's Shy's SHYS EYE_on_fashion on Instagram, or you can reach out to me on Facebook at What's in Your Closet Shy, and just inbox me. We can figure out something.
Now, do you also help with like accessories, like hats, earrings, jewelry, bracelets, whatever, to help pull that outfit together? You do all of that?
Yes, all of that. So basically, normally, either like if you don't have the other stuff that goes with the outfit, that's when we can go shopping and go get the other stuff. It's fun. Shopping is always fun. And if you don't want to go with me, let me go. I'll go for you and bring this stuff back. We can go from there. But it's like so many different options. I can't like put it into like a package or whatever at this point. It just depends on what the person needs.
Because everybody's going to be unique.
Everybody's going to be unique. Everybody's going to be different. Some people don't want to come out of their comfort zone, and it could just be just one thing. It could just be adding a belt or a necklace that changes the whole thing.
Yeah, I see. Because I know I'm kind of comfortable with certain things, but you figure if they reach out to you for your services, then I'm pretty much like going to let you have free reign and do what you do and everything. Now, let's get back. You said you still do hair and you still do makeup, but I guess that's on a more selective basis. Like, you're not actively billing yourself out for these services. It's kind of like people that know you that reach out to you, and if you're interested in a project, or assignment, you'll go. But it's not something like you're handing out business cards like, here, I do hair and makeup, this and this.
No, I'm not handing out business cards, but if it's needed, like projects and things come up, I'm always a hand for hire. I'm a freelance. That's like everything I do is pretty much freelance.
Okay.
So therefore, if needed, if I can take the job, I'll take it. If I cannot, I'll let you know that. Pretty much with the hair and things and the makeup, once again, I will travel to you. And we can work everything out and get you ready to go. I'm a one-stop shop, honestly.
Okay.
I can do your hair, get your makeup done, put your outfit together, and have you ready to go.
Okay.
So it's like one of those things where, I know where my focus is right now, but my baby is, I've been doing hair since I was like probably 14.
Okay.
And I've been licensed for hair for 26 years. I'm a self-taught makeup artist, and I have done many projects like fashion shows, photo shoots, weddings, proms, you name it.
Yeah, a lot of the photos hanging on these walls you're responsible for.
Yes.
And everything.
Because I really like anything creative for me. Like, yes, the beauty, makeup, and things is good, but I like the more creative side of things. If somebody let me stick something to their face, I love it. Like pennies, confetti, blackface, whatever you need to do. I like the more creative side of things because it's more artsy.
And it's more expressive because anybody, beauty makeup is just that. It's beauty makeup. Right. You're not really, the model is the canvas, and yes, she looks good, but when you go out of the box, so to speak, those are the ones that leave that hard impression and that hard impact and stuff.
Right, because everybody wants to see something they never saw before. Everybody wants the wow factor. And I know that it's a slew of makeup artists, it's a slew of photographers, it's a slew of, set designers and things of that sort. But I know, like, when we work together, we set up the whole concept. Like, okay, we're going to do the set. The wardrobe is going to be, this is the makeup and things of that sort. But the unique thing that we would do, it was never planned.
Right.
So it was kind of just show up, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we always pulled it off. And
some of our greatest work was always based off impulse, and it was either crack of dawn or we just happened to be all together in the element and be like, you know what, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
We're going to go knock this out and everything.
Right.
Now, as far as dressing people and everything and styling people and everything, have you ever had an experience where somebody you styled and they liked the look, but then their significant other or their girlfriend or their friend and everything was like, nah, I don't think this looks good on you? Or you may not have experienced that directly yet.
No, I haven't experienced that directly. I've been doing styling forever. And this is just something that, like, in regards to venturing into it as a business is different. But I never had any, like, negative feedback.
Oh, okay.
Honestly. I would say, like,
because you do great work.
Thank you. Like, in makeup and stuff like that, you do get feedback because most of the time you're pushing people out of their comfort zone.
And I know a couple of times that we worked together on, not necessarily projects for us, but projects for other people. You know, I remember one time a person, she didn't like what shade you were using, but that was the shade the designer wanted you to use for that outfit. And you know, she'd be like, oh, I don't like this color. Well, you're getting paid to be here, I'm getting paid to put this on,
right.
And the person that's paying both of us wants this,
right. And that's the thing, people don't understand. Like, when you are hired in regards to consulting or doing makeup or hair, you have to go by whoever is signing the checks or paying the cash app or whatever way you're getting your form of money. Whatever they want is what it is.
right?
I mean, I've done tons of fashion shows where people are like, okay, I don't like red lipstick, I don't want this, but if that's the look that's going to tie in everything together, and that was what was on the, you know, like what they told me that they needed me to do, I'm going by what they needed me to do.
Right, because that's what you're getting paid
that's
for.
What I'm getting paid for. At
the end of the day, if you don't do it, they're going to step to you. They're not going to step to the model and be like, well, I don't care if she don't like red lipstick, I wanted red lipstick.
Right.
And then that affects your brand and everything.
Right, because people don't understand too, like when, even with weddings and things of that sort, I always try to tell people that, okay, I know we want to go for natural, but we're going to step it up a notch, because you have to understand this has to last all day. Pictures and everything, crying, whatever the case may be. It's going to be a lot heavier than what you would ever wear, but I guarantee you your wedding pictures will look great. Every wedding I have done, it was always like, oh, this is a lot, but when they got their pictures back, oh, you were right.
Right.
Because it's different. Like, people don't understand that what the camera sees. It's like, you know, sometimes it's a little different from just what the naked eye would see. So, yes, it looks like a lot. However, it's not too much as what is exactly needed for that day or for that shoot. Yeah. Trust your stylist. Trust your makeup artist. Okay, now I'm not talking about just getting your hair done every 2 weeks. I'm talking about when you show up for a job or if it's for an event, trust the people that you hire on to help you. We have your best interest at heart, because at the same time, we want you to look good, because we don't want our name jacked up.
Right.
You know, so if we're doing something, it's for a reason. We're going to make sure you're in comfort zone. My whole thing is like in regards to clothes. Okay, if you don't like stuff short, you don't want to show cleavage, whatever that is, okay, we can get through that. But in regards to makeup and stuff like that, it's a little different. You know, it's going to be a little heavier. Okay.
And that's just something they got to deal with. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're being hired based on your skill set. So
right.
You just have to entrust, show trust with that person and that skill set.
Right. And trust the process. Do the work in my Ayanla mind frame. But at the same time, too, we take, corrective criticism, or I might be using the wrong word. Sometimes criticism is not the word to use. But we take the feedback. Right. Basically, if you don't like something, we'll come to a happy medium. I know that's what I'll do. Okay, you're not comfortable with this. Okay, let's try this. So it's been many times that I've done that too. Okay. Because I remember I did a wedding and I asked the lady, the bride, what do you want to look like? She kept on saying sweet. What does sweet look like?
I don't know. I know what sweet tea look like.
So she was saying I want to look sweet. So I was like, what is sweet? I'm in my head like, what the heck is sweet? So what I did was, I was like, okay, basically most brides, they always want to look like, honestly, the brides that I've done, they want to look like a glammed up Gabrielle Union, Nia Long, Mary J. Blige, or Queen Latifah.
Oh, wow.
So if you ever look at their glammed up pictures, normally when I go to see a bride, I'll ask them, what look are you looking for? They'll tell me. And if I pull up one of those pictures of them going to like a award show or something, I show them, I'm like, is this what you're talking about? Yes.
And that's the look they're looking for.
That's what the lady was talking about, sweet.
Wow. So
it's natural, it's glamorous, because those ladies don't wear a lot of makeup. So, and it's like also too in your wedding.
But all of them are natural beauties too.
Yeah, they're natural beauties. And then also too in your wedding, you don't want to have on red lipstick or pink, because you got to kiss your husband.
And you don't want him walking around with red lips on.
Right. So I try to keep it a mauve earth tone where it's easily wipe off, a little glossy, something like that, where it's like, okay, it's not going to affect him, or all that wiping and stuff has to be done. So it's a lot of tricks to it.
Okay. Now, I want to talk about your poetry, because what I have here from you was your autographed book. I'm making a whole bunch of noise and stuff right here.
Yes, ambiguous interpretations.
Yeah, and you actually even signed it for me.
And what did it say?
Be nice.
Because you need to.
Told me be nice.
You don't know how to.
I do know how to be nice.
Sometimes on Wednesdays after 5.
But let's talk about the poetry. Now, you say you're not the poet that hop on the stage and be like, all right, that poetry jam or nothing like that.
No, I am extremely shy, but people don't know that. Thus the name Shy Stiletto. I'm shy and I like stilettos, so Shy Stiletto. That's where my name comes from. I like to write. Okay. And I feel like I'm a writer, I'm a poet, so people can read it. So my book is called Ambiguous Interpretations because you can interpret it any way you want to. Mm-hmm. So some things that might make me laugh, that might make you sad. And some things that might make me, think, and it might make you have no emotion at all. But it's like a collection of poems that I wrote in the 90s up until the early 2000s. And I was always thinking about, okay, when you leave this earth, like, what are you going to leave? Right. And I think everybody should leave something behind, not just kids and family and debt and bills, but I wanted to, leave something behind where somebody might find it and be like, oh, it was this lady, her name was Shy Stiletto, she wrote this dope book of poetry. So, I mean, some of them are my experiences, some of the poems are, some of the poems have absolutely nothing to do with me. I talk to people a lot, so therefore, like, you could tell me something and I might think about it like, wow, that was deep, so I write about it.
So you kind of incorporate stories from other people into your poetry.
Yeah, other people, songs. People give me a word. I can write off of a word. Like, just like, you might say a word like salt. And I'm going to look it up. And I'll figure out some kind of way to incorporate it in the poem. Yeah.
Now, what was your obstacles? Because this is your first book, right?
Right.
What obstacles did you face when you was putting this book together?
Well, I self-published, right? So, trying to meet my deadlines and things of that sort, I did my own editing. So when the book was printed and I actually went back, I found a ton of mistakes, and that's why I didn't promote it. So that was one of the things I promote. When the book was done, I put it on Facebook. Hey, my book is out. BOREDinDE.com, Amazon.com. You can get it. And then I got off of social media for 2 months.
Just like that.
Just like, because I was afraid of the feedback. Sometimes we put too much worth in what people think, and half the people that got an opinion, they're not doing nothing anyway. Right. So when I read through the book and I was like, oh my God, I got all these mistakes. It's ridiculous. And so one of my good friends, Tasha, shout out to Tasha Water, she was like, if they find the mistakes, that mean they read it.
Hey, that's a good point.
And then she was telling me, like, she said, do you know how many books I read where they got like 2 chapter 5s? Or they don't got chapter 1 was in the beginning, in the middle of the book. She said mistakes happen all the time, but if people find the mistakes, that means they read it. And the craziest thing is people called me with the mistakes.
So they read it.
Yeah. Oh, do you know on page 5 it was an extra such and such? And I'm like, okay, thank you, but well, who was your editor? You need money back and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, thank you, but what was your favorite poem? And it was silent. So my thing is, sometimes people don't understand as creatives, okay, yes, we're going to make mistakes, but if you're going to give us feedback, we could take the negative, but counter that with a positive. Right. But I mean, a lot of people did enjoy the book. Sometimes I go back and read it and be like, man, I'm kind of deep. But you know what I'm saying? But it's all like life experience and other people's life experiences and things of that sort. It's just like, I'm a thinker. I'm always in my head. Idle time is horrible for me. I need to be busy. I think I have undiagnosed ADHD. Yeah, but I'm a 70s baby, so we ain't had that back then. But it's just like, I don't know. Writing is good. I like to write. I like to listen to music when I'm writing. Like, basically, I listen to John Coltrane's My Favorite Things. It's like 15 minutes long. And I just put it on repeat and just write. So it's emotional writing. Sometimes some stuff is funny. Some things that, once again, it's other people, But it was just like a body of work that I had for all these years. And I was like, I can't just let them sit. Right. And I'll just leave that. If I had to have a time capsule for Shy Stiletto, that would be one of the things that would go into it. Mistakes and all. I mean, my next book, I'm going to be more careful. I'm going to still self-publish it. You might still find mistakes, but there ain't going to be as many that's in that book. And I was even offered the opportunity to fix the mistakes, but I'm like, leave it alone. Leave the imperfections there, because basically, if you find them, at least I know you read it. Right.
And so you said you do have plans for another book.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Does it have a working title or anything yet?
Yeah, I'm going to call it Scatterbrain. I've been thinking. So it's going to be poetry, quotes, and free thoughts. So it's going to be all over the place, just like me. But I like being all over the place. It keeps you busy. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused, but I'm all over the place. Sometimes you just get stuck in one area. And it's just like, you live one time. You got a lot of stuff to do. So why not do it all?
I don't blame you. And you said you're going to self-publish that one as well.
Yes, I'm going to self-publish that one as well.
Now, have you thought about possibly doing like an audio book of your poetry?
No, because I don't like my voice.
I mean, you can always hire somebody else, you know.
But then that's no.
But you once you hear somebody else read it, it's no longer in your voice and everything. Okay.
I mean, because even with my book, like I didn't want to put my picture on my book because I didn't want to.
Yeah, because your picture's not on there, so
it's not. And that was one thing I thought about if I did a revised version to put my picture on there, because I was like, okay, it could be some girl in LA saying she shot stiletto and that's not her. I mean, I have my copyright, so nobody can ever take that from me. Right. But I didn't want to slight buyers, because sometimes people look at like that unconscious bias kicks in. Mm-hmm. So you look at a book, you see a person like, I'm not gonna read this. Right. But you know, with Stephen King sold a lot of books, and if people went by unconscious bias, he wouldn't have no money because he is spooky. You know,
and he does have a distinguished look.
Yes, very. But that was one of the things. Like, some lady was, you know, I don't know if it was good or bad advice, but she told me just don't put my picture on it. I was like, okay, maybe I won't. Then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. And like sometimes I think about it, I'm like, maybe I should have, but I didn't want to get caught up in vanity. It was more so I wanted people to actually read the book. Okay.
Now, have you had anybody step to you out the street or on social media and told them to sit and tell you how much your book influenced them, or how much this poem rung true to their world and everything?
Yeah, I've had some good feedback. Like one lady, basically my little sister used to go to homeschool. Mm-hmm. And I had one day went and met with her teacher, and we were just talking, and I got into my book, and I was like, you know, I have a book of poetry or whatever, and I told her her name. She said, are you serious? She said, I went to a teaching, it was like a women's group, and that was one of the books they gave us on the list to read. I was like, are you serious? I needed to really see it, to see, like, you know. Wow. But she was like, no. And she was like, she told me, so tell me what your book looks like, and I told her, and she was like, it's a leg with a red shoe. I was like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool, because, you know, with you being able to pull from your personal as well as stories that you have with your friends and put that into a written form, I'm quite sure a lot of people came across it and read it and was like, yo, wow, it's like she's in my head. Like, you know, just because we all go through similar stuff. It's just different ways we handle it. But I mean, that had to be, I mean, I probably would sit there and be like, God damn, somebody really liked that stuff. Because I know as a photographer, when somebody found out that I did a picture that they liked, it was kind of like, it was a crazy feeling, because it was like, yo, man, I really like that picture, man. You know, how did you do this, and this? And they weren't asking to be nosy to, you know, copy. It was kind of like they were just really, you know, curious about it. And I know that feeling. That was a good feeling.
It is a good feeling, because my cousin, Shantae Lee, she's a playwright. You know, she is like writing scripts and things down in Atlanta. She did a short, her and Jamil Presents. Like they both worked together, and they did a short, and they used my book and my name, Shy Stiletto, as the as a female character.
Oh wow!
So it's like it was really, really neat. I was really honored. I was like, wow, that's awesome. You know, so it was like one of those things. So I mean, sometimes you don't think your work and things touch people, or you just think, you know, like it's not going anywhere because you don't hear it all the time. But you know, sometimes you do get the, you know, the positive feedback, and you know, people do appreciate things.
Now, where do you see yourself going from here?
From here, because now, you know, I'm trying to focus more so on, you know, like, you know, I want to focus on my writing and my art. Okay. Honestly, like the consulting, I've been doing that forever. Been there, done that, but I never knew what to call it. So I got that together. But I am about to diligently work on my second book, because I have all the material and everything together. I just have to put it together. So from here, it's just like I want to even do like maybe a showing of my artwork, because that's my baby. I keep that under wraps, because I don't want any negative feedback. But with anything, if you're not a creative, you don't get it. Right. You know, but it's some people that appreciate creatives also that do get it. But it's like one of those things, sometimes you're afraid to show what you got going on, because you don't want to hear about the naysayers or the negative feedback. But my thing is, if you come with a negative, bring a positive. So I do want to start focusing on, you know, like getting that second book completed and showcasing my artwork.
And I get that, because with art being subjective, some people forget that, yes, it is subjective, but you don't have to kind of bully your views on the artist, because I mean, you know, we're all on social media, and I see from time to time somebody pops up like I never knew they were a painter, and you look at some of their stuff and it's like, but I try to keep that to myself, and then in 99.9% of the cases when I do keep it to myself, I go back and revisit them and I see something new in their work that maybe I just wasn't ready to, embody at that time and stuff. So it's like it's really subjective. Like, there's several local artists that I've seen and they're coming up and they're doing great stuff, and then there's artists such as yourself who you really play the back. You're not out here competing for time. Not saying those artists are competing for time, but you know how sometimes people find something new to do and they just want to yell it at the top of their lungs on the biggest building ever. Hey, I do this, this, and this. Where you just one of those people that you're just cruising into your art and you're developing, you're growing and stuff like that. And through your body of work, if you ever decide to share it, you'll see that growth, and you might even revisit something that you did and be like, my mindset at the time when I painted this was one way, but now I see it as something else. So you add on to that, kind of like your favorite word, remix it. And stuff. Because
a lot of my paintings, honestly, I have a few that I named, but I have a lot that I've never named. I just make them, paint them, and then it's just like, okay, I leave it there. Then I go through cycles where I might not paint at all, and then I might just feel creative and I might paint for days, So it's like one of those things. But I mean, I do have a nice body of art, and a lot of it is Afrocentric. That's why I was like, oh, I could call it Afro punk. So I got some things like with the turbans and different things, just celebrating like my blackness.
Right.
But I didn't know that I could draw. That's the crazy part. Like, I was doing like makeup for a fashion show, and it was a man sitting in the corner, just sitting. I just thought he was watching us makeup artists do makeup. And I'm like, okay, he's not getting up. He never moved. So when I finished doing the models that I had to do, he told me, he was like, you can draw. I'm like, no, I can't. He's like, no, you can draw. I watched you. He said, you contour faces. I seen the colors. He said, all drawing is lines. All a face is a canvas. He said, you can draw. So that was on a Saturday. That Sunday, I just went to AC Moore, got me some canvases and some acrylic paint, and I was like, let me see. And I've been drawing ever since. I don't even remember his name to say thank you or whatever, but sometimes it just takes somebody to just see your gifts to push you, and that was a complete stranger, and and I've been painting ever since, and I've gotten better, but it was just like one of those things. I was like, okay, let me see.
Well, that could have been your little guardian angel. So let me come down here and help this girl out.
Right.
Go ahead and paint. You could paint a face. You could paint a canvas.
And that's what I always tell my family and friends. I'm like, you know what? The thing that I'm not focusing on is probably the thing that's going to bring me the most success and revenue. Not it's not always about revenue, because sometimes you do stuff that you love. It's not about the payment, but it's like the thing. Some of our talents. I think anyone that has talent, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That is what was your God-given gift, or whoever you pray to. That's the gift that they put inside of you, and you do it, and it's not like even like work. I have shown people paintings, or I've shown people a poem or something like that, and they were like, well, how long did it take you to write it? I'd be like, okay, maybe 30 minutes to write the poem or less. Or I might have did that painting in less than an hour, because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like work.
And just sometimes you might start something and then come back to it weeks later. And so when they say, well, how long it take you, man? It took me 4 months.
Right.
Because I didn't do it 4 months straight. It was like I might have worked on it 1 week, abandoned it, put it to the back, and then did some other things, and then I came back and revisited it and finished it.
Right. Because sometimes I see pictures of people, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to draw that. I could probably draw that. Like, I'm looking at the picture of Siobhan, and I was like, I'm going to try to draw it. I'm going to try to do my rendition on a canvas of it.
Oh, I'd like to see that, because that's one of our signature pieces. Right. Everybody knows us from that Nestor's picture right here and stuff. I'll put it on the screen for you a little later, but yeah, that was one of our creative moments, and I remember it vividly because we did it on a Sunday, and I was rushing everybody because I wanted to watch The Walking Dead. It was a new episode coming on.
So petty.
And stuff. So that was done on a Sunday evening. We probably started about 5, and I ended up having to record that episode of The Walking Dead because we were still working.
Right.
And everything. And what's really interesting about that is a lot of our stuff we did, like, in my home. A lot of stuff people look and be like, oh, what studio you shoot this at? Oh, no, we just moved furniture out the way, found a bare wall, and bam, you know.
Shot it.
Now, I gotta ask you, when you're young and creative and here in Delaware, you know, sometimes you don't get, I guess for the lack of a better word, respect. You know, you kind of get that whole crab in the barrel mentality. Like, because Delaware is very small and at times can be very, very cliquish where, you know, you put out a good body of work, but people's like, I don't really know you, and plus my homegirl does what you're doing, so I'm gonna ride with them even though their homegirl may be less experienced or still coming into their own, because we're not gonna say, you know, we're better than everybody else, but sometimes, you know, people just don't want to give you your just rewards because they don't roll with you. How do you handle that type?
Anybody coming up, I would say, the world don't stop at Delaware. It don't stop in whatever borough of Delaware or city of Delaware you're in, Newcastle, Newark, Wilmington, Dover, whatever. The world don't stop there. Think broader, right? Because most of the time, if you're creative anyway, we don't fit in this space. And that's the thing. It's not the fact that, well, it is the fact that sometimes we're crab in a barrel and everybody like jumps on fads and, you know, you got a friend that does it, better, or people might have a cheaper rate for whatever, but think outside of the box. The world is a lot bigger. And that's the thing. We are in the middle of everything. We are like the nucleus. You are 2 hours away from wherever you want to be. So branch out, venture out, go other places where people can understand your work.
Right.
You know, because a lot of people don't get it. Like, once again, if you are not a person that loves creatives or you're not a creative yourself, you're not going to understand it. And the thing is, and we beat ourselves up because a lot of times, and I can only speak for myself, like when you show people your creative niche, they have criticism and things and they can kind of make you like second guess yourself. But you have to understand they don't understand. So they're not thinking of it in a creative mind. Like, for example, if we were to look at Siobhan's picture, okay, with the confetti on her face, most people, why you put that on? I have that picture in my portfolio. Like, why did you put all that on her face? I get that question. I'm like, what? Do you not see the art in it?
Right.
So people don't understand. So my advice to anybody that's a creative and things of that sort, get outside of your box. Go somewhere where people understand it. And that's the thing. Sometimes you got to go to Philly. You have to, you know, celebrate yourself. Post yourself. Don't worry about like what the people that know you are saying, because a lot of times they don't get it. They're not going to understand it, and never like, you know, dampen your dreams because somebody don't understand. Just keep on pushing, keep on doing it, because somebody's going to pick it up and understand it. And you just got to find your tribe.
Right. Because it is kind of rough when you put your heart and soul in something and then somebody just goes out of their way to tear it down. Right. It's like, come on, are you serious? And, you know, like I said, unfortunately, you know, Delaware, with it being small, people haven't quite figured out that we don't have to be cliquish. Like, I don't have to roll with you to work with you.
Right.
You know, I can create with you, you know, like, and be honest with you, you don't even have to like a person to create and get money with.
Right.
But a lot of people is like, well, I'm only going to create with my boy. You just basically stifling your growth.
Right.
Because there's people like, I like to use the Negro Haven, Atlanta, as an example. Everybody's like, oh, Atlanta, they work down there. They as a team, this, and this. And you know what? Yes, they are. But you know what else? If you really get behind the scenes with some people in Atlanta, they only work together because they know they can get that money together. They may not be fans. We ain't going to each other's houses on holidays and others. Like, look, I can come to the table with this. You got this. If we come together, we can get this money.
Right.
You necessarily ain't got to like me, but we can work together and work together well, and we do our business and we collect the money and we go our separate ways. Right. People in Delaware, unfortunately, I think they still think we got to be friends to do something.
You got to focus on the craft and not the friendship, because basically when you're doing business, we can be friends afterwards. Or
we can go separate ways.
So focus on the craft. And then also, too, your biggest connection is always going to be the one that you don't ask for. So if you go by unconscious bias and you don't connect with somebody because of what you think or what you heard or the way that they appear to be, you're going to miss out, because that might be the person that you need to get to the next step. So like basically, if you don't ever reach out to them or try to network, that's going to be that might have been that biggest connect that you never got to get to the next level, because you failed to even try to hold a conversation or anything. You know what I'm saying? Because like honestly, with me, I get that I'm unapproachable a lot.
Really?
No, well, not that I'm unapproachable. You look unapproachable. I'm like, I don't think I look unapproachable. I don't think I give off that vibe of being unapproachable. I'm just not sitting around smiling all the time because I think that's weird. But it's like sometimes it's just a conversation. You know, I'm just like, you know, I think you sometimes just have to walk up to someone. Hey, how you doing? I heard you do makeup. I heard you do poetry. Oh, I heard you do consulting. I heard you do videos. You do photography.
Right.
Step up and just ask, because sometimes you might be the person that they were looking for. They may be the person that you were looking for. So the biggest connect that can affect your life might be the one that you're not asking for. So just go or crash and burn. All they can do is say no.
Yeah, and you're right, because you know, just because I do something that you do doesn't mean that I'm out to take your market, your business, or whatever, because my vision is going to be different from your vision. Now, if we can collaborate on something and we can get to the same destination, financial destination, I don't see a problem in collaborating with somebody. But we just have to get out that mindset that it's got to be me. I got to be first. I got to be the one to do it. Like, you know, like I said, you know, what happens in Delaware happens all over, but it's concentrated because we're so small.
Right. So
somebody be like, well, I throw parties and this and this. That person over there throw parties. Oh, nah, I can't mess with that cat. You know, he gonna be trying to take my audience. Nah, your audience is always gonna be your audience.
Right.
And there's no rule that says somebody that likes you can't like them either.
Right.
You know, you can appreciate everything, and it's just people. Like I said, I've worked with people that got fed up with Delaware and left, and the majority of them did move to Atlanta. And I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I've never been a fan of Atlanta. I like to visit there, but I don't think I can actually live there. But I love to visit. I mean,
most people don't live in the city of Atlanta.
It's a great, yeah. You know, they live on the outskirts, like Decatur or something like that. But I think it's a great place.
Right.
But they've been creating the blueprint for so long, but people, all they see is, I got to go there to do what I do.
Let me tell you one place that is creating a blueprint, and they're doing it in their own city. And I'm not just big up on them because that's where my family's from and where I was born. But Chester is taking it to a whole nother level. Because when you hear about Chester, you just hear about the violence, the shootings, the negative. Chester has a rich art community that's out of this world. And from one of the projects that I work with, and with some of the people that I have built friendship with, and I'm collabing with them in different projects. They are from Chester, and it's making me want to go back to get the experience, because Chester is an artsy city. They have people, writers. They have people that are doing big things like out in LA making beats and stuff like that. It's so much stuff going on. They have radio stations. Like, honestly, I used to have a radio show on CNP, radio.com. Shout out to them, Pierre. Then also it's like Jamil presents, like he does film. He's the director, a comedian. My cousin Shantae Lee, she's a playwright. She's writing films. It's like Devin Walls. He's out there, like he has like a theater. He has a jazz club. Like the Avenues of the States in Chester, like it's like pretty much all black owned now. Right. People don't understand what's going on there because everybody gets sideswiped by like what is like going on with the violence stuff. But there's
they're just more concerned with the drugs, the violence, and to them from the outside looking in, it looks like it's a poverty-stricken area.
And it's not. And then also Marsha Benton, I'm sorry, Marsha, she has she started her own talk show called The Diamond Experience. Amanda, I can't think of her last name. But her company, Amanda Has Joy, like they have a whole a production company where they're filming. It's like a lot of stuff going on, and Delaware needs to follow too, because it's like we're small just like Chester. Right. Wilmington is small just like Chester, but instead of like everybody pulling each other down, like people are doing some great things there, honestly. And it's just like to sit back and you like hear the stories and you see it happen, and it's like great. So it's like one of those things, and it's like, even though I wasn't raised there, I was born there, it made me be like, okay, go ahead, Chester, but Wilmington, we could do the same thing. Right. Because like even when you and I first started working together as a team, instead of people just trying to, support it, it's turned into competition. Right. It's people now, okay, I'm a better makeup artist, or I'm a better photographer, come over here and work with me. Nah. And that's what I used to always say, we gotta stick to the team, this is the foundation. Stop bringing other people on, because it's like, and then people could tell the difference in the work. Yeah. I've had people tell me, I know when y'all work together and I know when he works with somebody else because that's not the same quality.
Right.
Not to say I'm the best, but my thing is I'm more so creative. There's a lot of people doing beauty makeup, but some of those makeup artists are the bomb. I'm not slighting anybody. But I do know that I've seen some of my creative thoughts and concepts recreated.
Yeah.
And, you know, it took a couple people to tell me, nah, that's a compliment. Stop getting upset about it. It's a compliment. So it's like one of those things. Like we could turn, like, you know, our city into something great too if we choose to work together. But I don't know when that's going to happen. We got to get out of that competition mode.
Right.
But we, you know, I mean, if we band together, there's a lot of things that can be done. It's a lot of talented people here too, but they all leave.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is a lot of people leave, but then a lot of people find their way back too. Right. Which, you know, I'm all for growth. If you feel like you're stagnant where you're at, then by all means, pack your things and go to where you think is going to be nourishing to you and your talents.
Right.
I mean, I have no problem with that. It's just my whole thing was that people like to run and make excuses. And I remember my dad telling me when I was younger, I was never small, but when I was younger, the only person believing the excuse is the one that's giving it. So,
wow,
you know, that's the only person that believes it. Like, you know, my dad, I should give him tons of excuses, but I don't believe it.
Right.
You know, so, and Delaware does have a lot of potential. It really does. It's just people need to get out of their way on trying to be some reality type pseudo star. Like, everybody wants to be like, I want to be the man. I want to be the man. Like, some of the people that's out here doing and making art and doing what they do are some of the most humble cats ever. Like, one of the producers you probably mentioned from Chester, Sap. You know what you call it? That's his sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine's his sister. And I think she just went out to LA, and you know, and she held off for a while. Like, she was really trying to make it work here, but it was stagnant. So she had to pack her bags and go. Right. And I'm like, you know, all the blessings and stuff. Right. You know, she exhausted everything she could do here. And, you know, Sap, he's heavy in the game. But if you know him, he's so humble, so laid back, and definitely approachable. Like, I never heard the dude once say, I'm the shit, you know, but he's had plenty of times where he could say, I'm the shit.
Right.
And then you got, like, DJ Brand. Another cat that's just humble and will talk to you and stuff like that. And he's on tour with Meek Mills. I mean, the guy's global now. Right. But he's still humble. And you know what? He still calls Delaware home. And he does what he can to bring his worldly experience back to Delaware to help people grow. Right. But we got people here that they so much want to be a celeb that they're in the way of the true creatives. Cause like one of my things, you know, me and you, we used to always talk about it, and I'm like one of those cats that I can't stand the pseudo artists. Like, just because I haven't heard of you doesn't mean that you're not an artist. So let me start that off. But you come out of nowhere claiming all these accolades, and I'm like, who the fuck are you?
We don't believe you. We need more people.
Like, you know, you come out, well, I've been doing this, and this, but your body of work reeks new. It doesn't reek like growth and anything like that. So yeah, all these people, like, get out of your way. You don't have to be cliquish. You can work with somebody that's not from your set, not in your friend circle or anything like that. Cause think about it, especially when you have a 9 to 5, you don't choose who you work with at your job. Like, if you take a job, you get hired for a job, and they put you on a team. You don't know those people. No. So you have two options: either keep to yourself or try to get to know them. Right. And one thing that I have learned is that I try to be cool with everybody till you give me a reason not to. Right.
Yeah, it's good to have a rapport with everybody, and it's funny because sometimes the people that you avoid, you have more in common with them. Right. And they're going to support you more, because it's funny because it's like it's a guy at my job, and he's a little different. But it's like he's cool different, you know. And I had the chance to sit next to him, and we have more in common. We watch the same stuff on TV. And just the other day, I had locked myself up in my file cabinet, and one of my other coworkers was like, I bet you I know who can get you in the file cabinet. And he actually had a pick-a-lock book. He had a pick-a-lock kit, And we weren't able to get in there. He's like, but I'm going to bring my other one in tomorrow. But it's like one of those things where if you don't interact with people, you don't know. And that's the whole thing. If you are the biggest person in your circle is too small. Right. If you are the one with all like the resources and you're the only one like doing something creative or whatever, your circle is too small. Because basically that small circle, if you're the one that's shining bright, they're going to just pull you down. You have to get around like-minded people to do some things. And you got to step outside of your comfort zone. And I'm preaching to the choir because I didn't have a circle that was creative. I just kind of kept to myself, and everything that I was doing, I kind of didn't. I kept it under wraps. But then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my book, Crash or Burn. Okay, I did my book. I started doing photo shoots and doing makeup with you. Okay, I did that. So it's like, I mean, you know, it's one of those things where I'm trying every avenue, you know, because it's like I'm tired of just like, you know, you get trapped a little bit, and then you get stuck in this whole, okay, Delaware, nobody's supportive or whatever, but you gotta like branch out. And since I started branching out and started meeting more like-minded people, and it's making me have a love again for the creative stuff, because you know me, I'll go on hiatus in a minute, like, okay, I'm done with this, because people don't make me just tired of it. But it's like, you know, it's like
you can feed off that creative and positive energy.
Yes, you can.
Like you said, if you're the biggest person in your clique, then your clique ain't shit.
Right.
You know, because you should be able to pull all sorts. Because another funny story. Before we started working together, we grew up in the same area, and so we were familiar with one another. Then we both started working at the same company together.
And he was mean and rude to my life.
She was like, I was the most meanest, rudest individual now. She likes to recite this one issue where, this was one day where I was walking through the door and I did not hold the door for her. She said I even did some old, like, let me slide through the door without touching it.
Yes, you did.
So the door wouldn't.
It was, first of all, it wasn't one door, it was 3 doors. And he was rude. He walked through all the doors and he looked back like, did this little whole hunchy, I ain't gonna open the door. I was like, ooh, I should call my thugs and whoop his ass, because
but her thugs, my thugs.
I said, he just all ignorant. I was like, ooh, and I was like, I don't like him. And then I don't know, like one of our coworkers, our mutual friends, she was like, oh, you do makeup, well, he do pictures. And then it was like one of those things, and then we ended up working together. We've been working together ever since. But I was like, I don't like him.
And then she gonna say one of the first things I said was like, oh, you down there, little sister.
Yeah.
And he was like, you knew that in the beginning.
Yeah, I think that was the only reason why he was he started being nice, because he realized who I was. I don't know. I told my brother, I said, what y'all used to break kneecaps or something? Because when people find out I'm your sister, they be so much more nicer to me. I don't get it.
Nah, Damir was just one of the popular kids in the neighborhood, cool with everybody and stuff. So, and you know, you was sheltered. You stayed in the house. I didn't know you existed till what? We started working together.
Right.
I mean,
I've always been low key.
You were like the enigma and shit. You know, like Marquita. I don't know who that is. Nah. Damir got a little sister. I don't know who that is.
Yes, I was tucked away.
But from that day, and you're one of my closest friends, I could say.
Oh, that's what's up.
I might not be in your inbox and on your phone and everything like that, but you were definitely one of the few people that I could say, if you called me and was like, yo, I need you, there's no questions asked. Where you need me. And I'm there. Because I know if you get to the point where you call me, it's gotta be serious. And the only other thing I'm gonna be out my mouth is, do I gotta bring money, or I gotta, slick my hair back and put the Vaseline on my face and get ready to fight and something like that. Do I gotta bring the muscle or the money? Which one? But yeah, I mean, I love you to death. You one of my closest friends, and you're a constant source of enlightenment and education. You school me on some stuff, and it's like I try to think like an old dog can't learn new tricks if he's not open. So yeah, so I appreciate the universe for bringing you into my world.
Oh, that's what's up. Thank you. Love you too.
Oh,
sometimes you gotta give him some get right, because he be acting up.
And you know what's going to be a couple people watching this talking about, yeah, that nigga's difficult.
Yes, you have to give him some get right. Just like, shut up, boy, and this is what it's going to be. Do you understand? And it'd be like, okay, he agrees even when he don't want to. But now, it's like one of those things. Everybody is put into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. You just got to recognize what position those people play. You're either supposed to teach something or learn something from everybody you meet. And if you're not teaching or learning, then they are not supposed to be in your circle at all.
And that's what's up. But yo, we're about to wrap this episode up, man. It's been a great half hour sitting here vibing with you, going down memory lane. And I hope, to get you back, and maybe, talk a little bit more about your work and actually get some of your work in. Like, I'm gonna try to splash some of your work on the screens and stuff like that for the people that see the video. But the people that are getting this on their podcast and they're listening, they want to know what's up. Tell them where they can find you again.
All right, I have to look at my.
I mean, you can look at it though. That's fine.
All right, so on Instagram, you can find me at Shy's Eye on Fashion. That's SHYS_EYE_ON_fashion. All right, that's on Instagram. On Facebook, it's at What's in Your Closet Shy. You can reach out to me there. Inbox me. You have questions about fashion. If you want me to come over and help you put your clothes together, or just go shopping, I'm always down for shopping. Or you want to know how to stretch a buck at Ghetto Macy's, call me. Well, I'm not call me, but inbox me. We'll work it out. Also, my book, Ambiguous Interpretations, can be found on Amazon or BOREDinDE.com.
And that's what's up, folks. And for everybody, if you didn't catch that, or you just want a visual representation, you can go to www.BOREDinDE.com. All the links is in the bio, and you'll have all that stuff. And I'll have her dedicated blog posts where you can see all the links and reach out and connect to her from there and stuff. So until next time, it's your man Tuck from BOREDinDE. Peace.